What's happening in your city? You got love for your city? It's about that time. What's happening in your city? You got love for your city? City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views. Oh, City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views. Oh, City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views. City Views, 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 City Views. I can't believe it. We are back for another episode of CT Views. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. I'm Jacque Williams, your host, and this is my lovely co-host, the one and only Coryse Villarouel.
That's right, Coryse Coco Villarouel.
She can bring some cocoa right now to warm me up. I'm freezing, man, you know. Got this scarf on and everything because hey, that's just the way it be. You know, you got to let your feelings show for real, you know.
Although, Jacque, 37 degrees today felt like 50.
Well,
considering we've had like very, very cold temperatures.
Well, you got to use your imagination.
The sun was shining. That really felt great.
Yeah, absolutely.
Not the wind, though.
No, the wind didn't. The wind certainly didn't. But welcome back, everyone. Coryse Coco Villarouel, like I said. And we do have a special guest with us tonight. Jacque, please introduce our guest.
Man, this is so cool because there's like this thing happening in the northwest corner of Connecticut in our region. And it always delights my heart to see opportunities that are made available for the special people that live in our community to really step up and make a difference, because that is the fabric of this community. So with that being said, it gives me great pride to introduce to you with us tonight the Executive Director of United Way, Ms. Lisa Ferris. Good evening, Lisa.
Good evening, Jacque.
Good evening. Welcome to our show.
Thank you for having me.
You know, it's so nice to have you here because I think United Way going through this refresh, as they would say,
Yes.
Couldn't have chosen anyone more ready for this challenge than you. Just a very experienced person with a huge heart, with a lot of community connections, and that should bode well for the United Way going forward, making sure that you let the community know about the mission that United Way has. So thank you for joining us tonight.
You're welcome.
Glad to have you on.
Having me. Thank you.
I want to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors for their support, in which we would not be able to bring you the quality community programming that we're able to do each and every week for you. So without further ado, we want to give a big shout out to our big city sponsors: Toth Insurance Agency, located at 1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. He can be reached at 860-496-7771 or at tothins@optonline.net. Also, Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Avenue, Suite number 1 in Torrington. Better call Mel.
Better call Mel.
He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. The Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120 in Torrington, Connecticut. The Chamber is the place to be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105 in Torrington, Connecticut. pediatric care for over 50 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. So we want to thank our sponsors for their support and want to encourage you to check out their businesses as those situations arise. So, Lisa.
Yes.
The spotlight's on you tonight. And we were just talking off camera a little bit about the future and trying to put a finger on how that future is going to unfold. And at United Way, you've been able to identify some of those issues that are not only affecting residents in the northwest corner and the towns that you support now, but some of these issues might become even more challenging in the future. So how do you encompass all that and put that into perspective with the understanding that these things that are taking place have to be addressed?
So the three areas that the United Way is focusing on addressing is financial stability, education, and basic needs. We have 10 partner agencies as of right now that we're working with that focus on in each of those areas. One of our programs is Stock the Shelves. It's a program that 5 community members started with funding from the Northwest Connecticut Community Foundation, Torrington Savings Bank, Conquest, Barron Financial Group, and Elevator Services. They were the backbone of Stock the Shelves. And Stock the Shelves has come under United Way recently. And that allows us to ask local businesses to do food drives. And those food drives, we take the food and we distribute the food out to 12 different food banks in the area. So that we serve 21 towns for United Way. So we don't just focus on the immediate Torrington area. We are, Canaan and Salisbury and Kent, we go out that far. So, food insecurity right now is huge. Homelessness, that's one of the biggest issues in our area. We're working with the cold weather shelter. I ran a couple drives when the cold weather shelter was opening and asked people for blankets and pillows and towels. And, we had an event in December at 5 Points just to let the community know that we were back. United Way was back here. We're revitalizing ourselves. We're rebuilding, and we asked people to bring towels for the homeless. And I brought those to the cold weather shelter. So, I've been working very closely with Kristen Jacoby down at Greater Waterbury United Way. Just working with her, she's been mentoring me. This is a new position for me. United Way, as everybody, all of you out there has probably known, the United Way has kind of been dark for a little while. So we are working on rebuilding the organization, bringing it back to life. Right now, I have a great board. Jacque is one of my board members. I'm very lucky. But we have added 5 new board members this year. And we're a working board. I'm very, very blessed to have everybody.
Well, and it's good too when
I think I went on a tangent.
No, that's all good stuff to know, because the one resource that we can coalesce around is information.
Mm-hmm.
And you spoke about Kristen from the Greater Waterbury United Way, and I think she, in our meeting with her, touched on some very notable traits that are necessary for this information flow to get to the right people.
Right.
So putting those pieces of the puzzle together,
Right.
That's half the battle.
Right. So
So
part of our plan, and you were part of the meeting, is holding community conversations. Getting our local agencies together and talking to them, like, what are the most critical needs that we're seeing in our community, and how can we, as a United Way, as a community, as donors, move the dial? How can we make an impact and make a difference, not just band-aid something? We want to move the dial. We want to make an impact. So how do we do that? And it's going to take community conversations and brainstorming. We've built new committees. We have a fundraising campaign committee. We have an allocations committee that's going to be working on our new funding model. So we're very excited about that. The funding model may look a little bit different than it did before. A lot of United Ways are going towards programmatic. It doesn't mean that we won't be funding agencies. We'll just be funding the agencies in a different way. We'll be funding programs. The agencies will still have to apply for funding. We're working on those application processes. They are going to have to give us their outcomes. We have to report to United Way worldwide. I have to report outcomes to United Way. So
accountability.
Yeah. Yep. We're accountable. So, there's a lot of moving parts, and it's been it's a learning experience for me.
Mm-hmm.
So we have a lot of work to do, but I'm really excited. So
now, what's your background? Where did you come from before this position, and how long have you been in this position?
So I worked at Brooker Memorial for 8 years.
Okay.
I was their program director for their pediatric dental program. I worked closely with the executive director, Kathy Coyle, there.
Yep.
And we worked and built the fundraising program there. I did all the community relations, a lot of the marketing, and I've been at United Way for 5 months.
Oh, okay.
So
very nice.
Yes. Yep. So right now, I am a one-man show. So in the process, United Way Worldwide is, our branding will start to look different, but United Way Worldwide is redoing their branding, and every United Way has to go through training. So I have just started my training. So that will take about 4 months before you see the new United Way branding, but they don't just release it and say, here you go. You actually have to go through classes to get your messaging, your marketing, all your branding materials. So it's like I said, it's a learning experience.
Well, the accountability part, though, I think is very, very vital to the success of the organization, because people just don't have the same type of trust that they do in institutions anymore.
Right.
And I think that's unfortunate.
Right.
But with your statements of conflicts of interest, with the focus on accountability and integrity, I think that's the way that you rebuild your brand with your donors, because people want to make sure that their dollars are going to the right places, and also that the agency that they're working through just has that component to it, where they're looking out for the needs of the community. Now you told us about three buckets that your new initiatives are involving.
Our new initiative.
Did I say something different?
You said mine. Our.
Oh, well, yeah. Well, you the new kid on the block.
You're on the board.
You're part of that, Jacque.
Right, you're part of that.
I'm trying to wear my host hat now, but
you wear many hats, and that's one of them.
That's true. Right now, I should be wearing a hat because my head is freeze cold. If I could put this scarf on my head, I'd do it. But it's great. The Stock the Shelves initiative is wonderful. You guys have fed so many people, and working in a community that has other food services just shows the need that's out there. But talk to us about some of the programs that you have in the other buckets that are crucial to our community, not just surviving, but thriving.
Right. So right now, the other programs that we are running, we ran a Warm the Children campaign, and that's a program that we run with Fish, and it is supported by Northwest Community Bank and the Register Citizen. So we ask for donations, and we pick 7 to 8 families from 7 different United Way agencies, and we have shoppers, and the shoppers take the families with the children to Walmart, and they, depending on the age, they get a certain monetary cap that they can spend, and the kids get to pick out warm clothes. So it might be a winter jacket or a hat or, you know, warm sweatpants or whatever, but the kids get to pick out what they want. So it's not the parents saying, oh, I'm going to take this shirt for my family.
Right.
I'm going to take, you know, the kids get to pick it out. So this year we raised over $6,000, and the Northwest Connecticut Community Foundation actually had a fund, and they gave us $5,000 from that fund. So we raised over $11,000
Wow.
for Warm the Children.
Very cool.
So each year, the money that we raise goes to next year.
Mm-hmm.
So next year's fund is very well. We'll be able to help more families next year. But we helped about 100 children this year. So it was a great start for me, because that was my first real fundraising activity with United Way. We're in the process of starting our VITA tax program. So we will help families who need their taxes done. For anyone who makes $26,000 or less, will be a drop-off site. So look for information on that. We're just getting started. We should have our volunteers in place by the end of the week. We are also doing Day of Caring, so that should be end of April, beginning of May. So we'll be looking for volunteers to come and help with community projects. So we'll be looking at our agencies, calling them to see if they have projects that they need done. So it might be landscaping, or maybe there's a painting job, or maybe they need, I know that in the past they went to Gear and they washed buses. So we'll be looking for things like that. We were talking to Kristen Jacoby in the of Greater Waterbury, and they do a day of action, which we may do, and we may ask all the businesses around our community to host food drives, but we may ask those businesses to host a food drive for one specific food item. So we may ask Torrington Savings Bank to host a food drive for peanut butter, and Northwest Community Bank to host a food drive for pasta. And we'll have one day where everybody will come and drop off those donations. We'll have volunteers that would be sorting those donations, and then volunteers that will be taking those donations and delivering them to different food pantries. So that would be a day of action. We'll be asking, again, our corporate sponsors to help volunteer, and our board members and anybody else who would want to volunteer.
So you're actually putting fun into the game.
We
now,
are putting fun into the game. Yep.
I can see. I see a bank doing ham hocks. Ham hocks for the food drive.
And we're very lucky. You know, I've started a corporate sponsor program.
Yeah.
So our premier sponsors are Northwest Hills Credit Union,
Yep.
Eversource, Northwest Community Bank, Torrington Savings Bank. They jumped right on board.
Right.
You know, they had no hesitation of saying, you know what, Lisa, we support you. We support United Way, and we know that you can do this.
Well, I think the benefit of these programs being implemented at this particular time is you're kind of building that momentum, you know, and people, businesses understanding what your directives are, what you're trying to do. I think that bodes well, because you gotta, you know, you have to build that foundation.
Right.
And once people understand what it is that you do and why you do it, I think that's important too.
Right.
Because that builds in that integrity and credibility factor.
Right.
And you know these things are necessary. And I know when I first came to Connecticut all those years ago, I had kind of that whole perspective of, you know, Connecticut being kind of like the rich state, you know, the provincial gated community. But I've seen how and a lot of it is due to some of the social events that have taken place and how that's affected, you know, mill towns like Torrington and other manufacturing rural towns that are in this particular area.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of puts the economy in a whole different light. And the needs out there, they're very real. They're very real.
They are real.
So having the information, knowing where those resources are, and then having the ability to deliver those resources to a community that obviously has a need is crucial going forward.
Yep.
So speaking of information, I think we might want to hear from our good friend Pascal Nijay. We haven't heard from her in a while.
Have we? We haven't?
We haven't. Yeah, but she's still selling houses. So
she is. She's
yeah,
helping a lot of people.
She is. Let's see what she's up to.
If you're getting ready to buy a home, it's exciting to jump a few steps ahead and think about moving in and making it your own. But before you get too far down the emotional path, there are some key things to keep in mind after you apply for your mortgage and before you close. Here's a list of things to remember when you apply for your home loan. Don't deposit large sums of cash. Lenders need to source your money, and cash isn't easily traceable. Before you deposit any cash into your accounts, discuss the proper way to document your transactions with your loan officer. Don't make any large purchases. It's not just home-related purchases that could disqualify you from your loan. Any large purchases can be red flags for lenders. People with new debt have higher debt-to-income ratios, meaning how much debt you have compared to your monthly income. Since higher ratios make for riskier loans, borrowers may no longer qualify for their mortgage. So resist the temptation to make any large purchases, even for furniture or appliances. Don't co-sign loans for anyone. When you co-sign for a loan, you're making yourself accountable for that loan's success and repayment. With that obligation comes higher debt-to-income ratios as well. Even if you promise you won't be the one making the payments, your lender will have to count them against you. Don't switch bank accounts. Lenders need to source and track your assets. That task is much easier when there's consistency among your accounts. Before you transfer any money, speak with your loan officer. Don't apply for new credit. It doesn't matter whether it's a new credit card or a new car. When your credit report is run by organizations in multiple financial channels, mortgage or credit cards or auto, it will have an impact on your credit score. Lower credit scores can determine your interest rates and possibly even your eligibility for approval. Don't close any accounts. Many buyers believe having less available credit makes them less risky and more likely to be approved. This isn't true. A major component of your score is your length and depth of credit history, as opposed to just your payment history, and your total usage of credit as a percentage of available credit. Closing accounts has a negative impact on both of those parts of your score. Do discuss changes with your lender. Be upfront about changes that take place or you're expecting to take place. Glitches in income, assets, or credit should be reviewed and executed in a way that ensures your home loan can still be approved. If your job or employment status has changed recently, share that with your lender as well. Ultimately, it's best to fully disclose and discuss your intentions with your loan officer before you do anything financial in nature. Bottom line is, you want your home purchase to go as smoothly as possible. So remember, before you make any large purchases, move your money around, or make major life changes, be sure to consult your lender, someone who's qualified to explain how your financial decisions may impact your home loan.
Just absolutely amazing.
I love her.
Look at her.
Making
so informed.
You know what? I ain't got a red dime, but I'm ready to go out and buy a house now.
No large purchases.
Hey,
Right.
I'm gonna talk to somebody. I'm gonna say I got Pascal's recommendations. Give me this house.
Pascal and I try to do a lunch, once every month or so.
Yep.
And it's just great to meet up with her and just chat and talk about, everything that's going on with her business, my business, and just reconnect. She's such a great person.
She is a great person.
Another example of ladies that are, really making it happen, working the scene with a gangster lean. But I think that speaks volumes for women in general who are career minded and really want to use their skills and abilities to make their customers um, to accommodate their customers as best they can. And she definitely puts 100% of herself into that effort.
She certainly does.
Yes, she does.
So, Lisa, it's once again we want to thank you for hanging out with us this evening here on CT Views, and we want to remind each and every one of you can go to our Facebook channel, our Facebook page, and our YouTube channel. Hit subscribe, like, and let us know that you're out there. And if you want to engage with us, if you want for us to cover a certain topic, or to interview a certain guest, please let us know, and we will respond as soon as we possibly can. And you can be the star of the show, like my good friend here, Lisa Ferris.
and definitely stay tuned because we do a lot of segments between myself and I doing the entertainment and arts segments. We have another segment team that covers all the restaurants and the food and the good places to eat in the area. So we have a lot of segments going on, and you want to stay tuned to those as well. As we do have some great giveaways from some of these businesses as well. Our last segment, like Edgeworks Axe House. I could never say every single time I try to say it. I don't know, stumble on those words. Edgeworks Axe House. We did a great segment with him, and we do have a gift certificate for one person for 1 hour and a T-shirt that he generously donated for us to give away. These are some great places, great businesses in the area, and great places to have fun with the family too.
But you know what, Coryse, I must share this with you. The last time I was at Edgeworks, it was an unacceptable experience. Okay, having people twirl axes at a.
Well, first of all, no one's twirling the axe.
Well, I didn't mean twirl like literally twirl, but you're throwing axes, and you just never know. I was like, I'm gonna skedoodle to the other side of the room real quick here, because you never know if one of them handles might go in the wrong place. So
well, Al, the owner, is very great at training people.
yeah,
his staff are well trained, and safety is his number one priority.
yeah.
He said he's never had to use a Band-Aid or bandages for anyone. And a lot of organizations have used axe throwing as a team building activity and event. So, it's a great way to just relax, axe, get it?
Oh no, not again.
And let loose and have fun.
Well, you had United Ways had its annual meeting at Red Barn
Little
Brewery.
Red Barn
Oh,
Brewery.
Yeah.
you guys need to hop on next door then.
Nah, that's what I was like looking for the place, and I'm like, I'm sticking my head in there.
We thought about it.
Yeah. Well, needless to say, it would have been an experience. But nonetheless, Lisa, as I was saying earlier, it's good to have you in the house. We want to take this opportunity, however, to recognize our sponsors and thank them for their support and allowing us to bring you quality entertainment each and every week right here at your local cable access channel 5. I want to give a big, huge shout out to Toth Insurance Agency, located at 1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. They can be reached at 860-496-7771 or at tothinsoptonline.net. Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Avenue, Suite number 1 in Torrington, Connecticut. Better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets-.com/local-health-INS. Or the Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120. The Chamber is the place to be. And they can be contacted at 860-482-6586. And last but certainly not least, Dr. Michael Curry, 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105 in Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. You can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. Thank you so much. We appreciate you, sponsors. Couldn't do it without you. Now, Lisa, can you share with us a little bit? I want to digress here a little bit because the Alice program
Yes.
is something that I think is vital to the core mission of United Way. Can you talk to our audience a little bit about what that program entails?
So Alice is asset limited, income constrained, employed. And that took when I started and they were talking about Alice, I'm like, who is Alice?
I know. I'm like,
go
Alice.
ask Alice.
Like,
I think she'll know.
But these are the families that they work, and they may work 2 jobs, or mom and dad both work. They don't make enough to make ends meet, but they make too much to get help. So part of the United Way's mission, and it's all United Ways, it's not just our United Way. Part of the United Way's mission is advocacy. And right now, United Way is advocating for the child tax credit. So we have held 2 roundtables in Torrington at Advance with some legislators and some Alice families. And they came in and they got to talk about how that child tax credit, because they're talking about $600 up to 3 children per family. You know, how would that benefit their family to get that money every year?
Yeah.
You know, and it would help with childcare, or it would help put clothes on the kids' back, or food now, or health care. So we're advocating for that. I actually just went to Hartford on Thursday to talk to Representative Honig about the child tax credit, you know, and he's in the finance, so he's going to bring it to the Senate and hopefully advocate for it. But that's huge. And these Alice families, I mean, you'd be surprised, but in our area of the state, 47% of our area of the state are Alice families. So
I'm actually not surprised.
Right. You know?
I mean, it's the economy, everything around us has gone up, yet your income has remained the same.
Right.
And it's a struggle. It's a
Right.
struggle for many people out there.
Right.
I was actually just talking to a friend of mine tonight, and you know, she's like, I have a good job. You know, she went to school for this, but yet she's struggling.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Struggling
Yep.
to make ends meet. And you know, and I've said to her, you know, making 60,000 when everything around you has gone up, it's like making 20,000.
Right.
It really is not like
Right.
It's not.
Right.
It does not equate.
Right. Right.
So I do believe, I can see that there are multiple families.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And look at heating prices.
Oh yeah.
You know, electric. It's crazy. I was at a store yesterday. I bought eggs. They were $11.
Oh, and they just said they're going up again.
$11.
And eggs are going up again.
Yeah. Just
What?
eggs.
Lovely. Yeah. Eggs are
Yep.
prices on eggs are going up once again.
Yep.
So, you know, it's like I mean,
And that used to be something that was cheap.
yeah. Used to be something that was cheap, but not anymore. I mean,
Yep.
everything around us has gone up except how much you make, and it's hard.
So that child tax credit will help
Mhm.
Yeah.
families.
Mhm.
So we're advocating for that. So yeah, I mean, and I'm like I said, it's a whole learning curve. So,
Mm-hmm.
so we're learning, and that's why, when we run campaigns and people wonder, well, why should I give to United Way? Why should I give them my money? Because you don't have to choose. You don't have to choose where your money goes. We're going to take your money and we're going to spread it in the community where we know it's needed. And you're going to know where your money goes. You're going to know that it's going to go to fish and it's going to go to Canaan childcare, and you're going to help that child get whatever supplies that they need for childcare, or any of our programs. We work with McCall Behavioral. You're going to help somebody with substance abuse. So you don't have to choose. We do the work for you.
But I think it bodes well for the Northwest corner to have that type of outreach, because I'm just a firm believer that the biggest challenge that we have in delivering these vital services to the residents of the region, it's information. A lot of people don't know what's available out there, and a lot of people go needlessly in peril, not understanding just where those resources are. So
I can't tell you the amount of phone calls I've had, people that are being evicted. What resources are available? They need, they're behind on their rent 1 month. Christmas time, families calling.
Yeah.
They, where can we go? I have 3 kids. I need help. I can't afford to buy my kids Christmas presents. Do you know where
I see it all over Facebook on random feeds, or even in the community groups. I would see parents or mothers saying, my daughter's birthday's coming up. Can anyone help me with a present or a couple presents? Right. Or our family's moving to town and she has 2 kids. She just got out of a whatever relationship. Anyone can donate clothes. Like, I see it so much, and it breaks my heart. And I'm always like, okay, I can give this away. And I go through my things for my sons, and I'm like, I could give this away, and I could give this away. And it's funny because I hold on to a lot of the clothes they have outgrown, because I'm always like, I know I can find someone I can give that to. Somebody might need that. And so I end up holding on to these things, and I'm always willing to just and I'll go through and read those posts and reach out to these people and say, what do you need? I've got boys' clothes, this size, this size, this size. What do you need?
And you want to help everyone.
Yeah.
You want to help everyone, and you can't.
Well, that's what I think it's important, having a person with your ilk in this particular position, because to have that a sense of empathy and compassion, I think that can be a driving force in meeting your mission, and also making everyone aware of the challenges. And
that's why those community conversations are so important.
Absolutely, because once you know what the leadership looks like, then I think it gives you a better feeling. It's like, okay, I feel good about giving this, because I know it's going to be handled in the right situation, in the right way.
And I know that there's a lot of relationship building to do, a lot of relationship mending that I have, not me personally, but organizationally wise. And I'm willing to put in the work, because I believe in the mission, and I believe in the organization, and I believe in our community.
I believe in
and I believe I can fly.
I believe I can fly.
I just had to go there. The song just, popped into my head.
You have to fly United, though.
Right.
Fly United Way.
Yeah. Well, we're gonna have to talk about that. All right. Put some little brain juice on this little thing here, But I mean, let's be honest. that's important.
Mm-hmm.
Because you want people to be able to identify with your brand and feel good about it.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
Correct.
and I think, having rekindled those sentiments to some degree is vital to the sustainability of the operation.
Correct.
But, when I think about United Way, I remember as a kid, it was like United Way was everywhere. I mean, Saturday morning cartoons, there was always, United Way commercials on, and you just, especially being an athlete, we always was doing something with, our Pee Wee football teams or our baseball teams and whatnot. But as a few of those types of agencies have kind of retooled over the years, what do you think you can do from the executive director's position at this point to give more recognition
To those agencies?
or to the
United Way?
or to the general public, so they can once again begin to have that relationship with United Way?
Being new to the position, I think just, follow us, watch our stories. I'm reachable. I'm out there. I'm in the community. I'm not hiding behind my desk. If you want to chat, you want to meet, I'm happy to listen. I have an open door policy. So come talk to me.
So you're going to be literally the face of United Way.
I am.
Well,
For this area.
Yeah, for this area.
Well, no,
For this area.
Right.
That's great though, because
I may not be able to solve everything, but
Right.
I'll help.
Well, I mean, it helps too in terms of, if you're going to have the face of, representing an organization, you don't want them looking like Tiny Tim. So.
Right. Right.
So yeah, it's like, Lisa Ferris, let me call her, see what's going on with United Way. She the face of the organization.
And you know what I like and you were there when Kristen from the executive director at Greater Waterbury was talking about, they go out and they go into the community.
Yeah.
So they're going into their homeless encampments and they're actually taking donors or people who want to be involved with United Way, and they're showing them, like, here's our homeless encampment. Like, help. This is where you can help us.
Yeah.
They're taking them to their education daycares or, wherever they're helping. They're taking them to the YMCAs. They're taking them, they do actual outreach tours. Yeah. Like, why can't we do that?
Right. Outreach is very important. Very important to get your message across, and just to
take them on tours
to reach people. Right. Like, outreach is one of the most important thing. When Access Health started, they had a big outreach team, and that's how we got our point across to all the towns. And every single town in Connecticut, our outreach team went to. We went to every town in Connecticut, and that is a big plus. That helps. That you now are bringing yourself to the people,
right?
And you can talk to everyone. Every single person has a voice. Right. So, yeah.
No, I think in that endeavor, social media has to kind of, and Kristen was talking about how that's being more and more relied upon as a way to make those connections with the community. And I mean, if we haven't learned the impact of social media by now, we never will, and it's never going to go back.
Right.
But
I think a good balance between both social media and just actual, like, pounding the pavement.
Right.
Except when it's this cold outside.
Jacque's not pounding the pavement.
I'm not pounding the
Jacque
pavement.
is not.
When it's
No,
cold
He's like,
outside.
I'm not having it.
No,
I'm
not
not
me.
having
no,
it.
Not
no,
today, not
no.
tonight.
I'm telling you, though, 37 degrees felt like 50 to me today.
I'm
I actually
with
did
you.
not have the heat on in my car.
Really?
Well, you know what? The sun was shining so brightly, and I was actually like feeling the rays that I didn't have to turn the heat on in my car.
Okay.
And I like heat.
I was going to say,
Okay.
I don't know if I should admit this or not, but sometimes I just get in my car and drive and turn the heat on just so
I can feel the heat. Feel the heat.
Just like lay back, put on a good tune or two, and like, okay, yeah, this is nice. But Lisa,
Yes.
can we talk about the ensuing campaign?
Sure.
Because that's one of those ways that you do raise awareness for the issues that you're advocating for. So can you talk to our audience a little bit about that?
Sure. So we are in the planning phase of our 25-26 campaign. We did not run a 24-25 campaign just because I came in mid-August.
It would have been logistically impossible.
It would have been logistically impossible. I came into an office where it was just me. I didn't have anybody to train me, so I was kind of learning as I went. So running a campaign in 24-25 was not something that we decided as a board to do. So we are gearing up to run our 25-26 campaign. We are starting with our Leader Circle. So if anyone out there was a Leader Circle donor, which is $1,000 or over, look for a letter in the mail. We ask that you come on and be a Leader Circle donor again. Join the United Way family. If you have questions, please feel free to call me. The number is 860-489-4131. So we're going to run that beginning of February. We have our 2 honorary co-chairs for the campaign, Lisa Venati, the president of Torrington Savings Bank, and Lauren Malo, president of Northwest Community Bank, have both agreed to work together to be the honorary co-chairs of the campaign this year. So we're super excited. And that's huge. That's, for them to support the United Way and to support me. I am so grateful for the 2 of them. So we'll be looking to, we have a campaign planning committee, which Jacque is actually part of. So we're meeting bi-weekly to work on the campaign theme, get all the materials together. We'll be reaching out to all the companies to run their employee campaigns. So that campaign will kick off in September. So if everybody remembers, we used to do a campaign kickoff breakfast at Torrington Country Club. We will be doing something like that again. I'm not sure of the venue or exactly what that looks like right now, but look for information to come. So that'll start in September. So we'll kick off our campaign in September, and that will wrap it up by December 31st. And we'll be able to make allocations out to our agencies in mid-2026. We were able to, in December, we had a little event. We were able to distribute $30,000 to our partner agencies. Yeah. So that was huge. And we do plan on doing that again this year, this coming year.
That's huge.
We don't have an amount yet, but we do plan on making a distribution to our agencies again. And, our agencies out there, look for our application process. We are in the midst of working on how that's going to look. I don't know exactly when we'll be rolling that out, but that should be rolled out, I would say, April, May, maybe. Mm-hmm. So, just look for our news. Like us on Facebook at the United Way of Northwest Connecticut. And, you can go to our website, United Way of Northwest Connecticut, and just look for all our news and upcoming events.
There you go. Pascal is like knocking on the door. She says she's got some more stuff to share with us. Is that true? Do I hear that?
I heard her.
Oh boy. Okay. Guys, stay tuned. We'll be right back after this.
If you've been holding off on selling your house to make a move because you felt mortgage rates were too high, the recent downward trend is exciting news for you. Mortgage rates have come down since last October when they hit 7.79%. In fact, they've been below 7% for over a month now. And while they're not going back to the 3% we saw during the past few years, they are expected to continue to go down from where they are now in the near future. As Dean Baker, senior economist at the Center for Economic Research, explains, it also appears that mortgage rates are now falling again. They will almost certainly not fall to pandemic lows, although we may soon see rates under 6%, which would be low by pre-Great Recession standards. Here are two reasons why this recent trend and the expectation it'll continue is such good news for you. One, you may not feel as locked into your current mortgage rate. With mortgage rates already significantly lower than they were just a few months ago, you may feel less locked into the current mortgage rate that you have on your house. When mortgage rates were higher, moving to a new home meant possibly trading in a low rate for one that was as high at 8%. However, with rates dropping, the difference between your current mortgage rate and the new rate you would be taking on isn't as big as it was. That makes moving more affordable than it was just a few months ago. As Lance Lambert, founder of Resi Club, explains, we might be at peak lock-in effect. Some move-up or lifestyle sellers might be coming to terms with the fact 3% and 4% mortgage rates aren't returning anytime soon. 2, more buyers will be coming to the market. According to data from Bright MLS, the top reason buyers have been waiting to take the plunge into home ownership is high mortgage rates. Lower mortgage rates mean buyers can potentially save money on their home loans, making the prospect of purchasing a home more attractive and affordable. Now that rates are easing, more buyers are likely to feel that they're ready to jump back into the market and make their move. And more buyers means more demand for your house. Bottom line is, if you've been waiting to sell because you didn't want to take on a larger mortgage rate or you thought buyers weren't out there, the recent decline in mortgage rates may be your sign that it's time to move.
Telling you, Pascal could sell me a shack.
Yeah, man.
Buy it tomorrow.
No doubt. No doubt. So we definitely want to thank Pascal for her contributions to the show.
She changed her shirt.
I noticed that. That was very big of her. And hopefully we'll have her on set here real soon.
Hopefully. I'd love to have Pascal back on set.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's MIA. Nonetheless, time for T-Town shout-outs. We want to recognize some businesses here in the city of Torrington that support CT Views and want to make sure that you get the opportunity to check them out. All right? Get them hometown discounts. I want to give a big, huge shout out to Don's Getaway, located at 24 Winstead Road in Torrington. Christie's Restaurant, located at 545 Winstead Road in Torrington. Health Insurance Services, Craig Yard and the crew down there at 438 Main Street in Torrington. Wall and Fruenhofer, located at 117 Main Street in Torrington. Soul Latina Cafe, located at 31 Hungerford Street in Torrington. Jimmy's Store, located at 1238 East Main Street in Torrington. 5 Points Art Center, located at 855 University Drive in Torrington. George's Music, located at 905 New Harrington Road in Torrington. We want to thank you for your support of CT Views. And once again, we want to acknowledge our sponsors and recognize them for their support here for us, CT Views. Big city shout-outs go to Toth Insurance Agency, located at 1151 East Main Street, Torrington, Connecticut. Better protection, better value. He can be reached at 860-496-7771 or at tothins@optonline.net. Mel Brickman and Health Markets, located at 16 McDermott Ave, Suite number 1, Torrington, Connecticut. Better call Mel. He can be reached at 860-307-1128 or at healthmarkets.com/local-health-ins. And the Northwest Connecticut Area Chamber of Commerce, located at 59 Field Street, Suite 120 in Torrington, Connecticut. The Chamber is the place to be. They can be reached at 860-482-6586. And last but not least, Dr. Michael Curry, located at 30 Peck Road, Suite 2105 in Torrington, Connecticut. Pediatric care for over 50 years. He can be reached at 860-482-8177 or at torringtonpediatrics.com. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We can't thank you enough.
Now, Lisa, before we go, I do have a question I wanted to ask, and I'm sure it'll be vital information for our audience as well. So families that are in need, how do they sign up with United Ways, or how do they reach out?
So if families,
what is the process?
So if families are in need, we don't help them directly. They would call 211. We help the agencies that help the families.
Okay.
At this point, that's where we are. So
that 211 designation is huge.
211 is actually run by United Way.
That's huge.
United Way funds 211. So 211 will help with housing, food insecurity, rent assistance, heating assistance, anything like that. Any of those that spectrum.
I'm sure that is huge to know for our audience.
It is.
Because I have heard over time people not having the, let's just say, the quickest response on 211.
Right. So 211 is, the problem is they're understaffed and they're underfunded. So that's another part of the United Way advocacy, is they're going for more funding for 211 so that we can get more help in the call centers so that they can answer calls quicker. So yes, people are on hold a long time on 211. You can also go to 211.com, and sometimes you can get quicker answers on there. But just be patient, because the people in the call centers are there to help you.
That's great to know. That's great to know.
Yep.
Lisa, I take it that this will not be the last time you will grace us with your presence.
Nope. I'll come back whenever you want me.
Well, we're going to hold you to that.
Okay.
Because we definitely want to keep track of the great things that United Way is doing, and make sure that our community has all the information they need so that they can make the right decisions for their families and their businesses. So we thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you.
And we want to encourage each and every one of you to check out our Facebook page, CT Views, or our YouTube page, also CT Views. Like and subscribe. And we're going to be working on a new platform. We're already on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram, but Twitch is a new platform that we're going to be working on. So if you get a little message from me, that's what it's about, okay? So anyway, we hope that you'll return next week. We're here on Tuesdays, 6 p.m., coming at you right here from your local access channel, Altice 5.
It is going to be a Black History Month starting next week. So
that's right.
Stay tuned for some exciting shows coming up.
Yeah, I think Coryse might bring us some cocoa in celebration for Black History Month. I can't drink coffee, so give me the cocoa.
Well, thank you everyone for tuning in.
Thank you for having me.
And we'll see you back next week right here for more CT Views. City Views.